I have decided to make a video today based off of my top 5 wish list for Battlefield 2042. And the reason why is because, one, if you don't know who I am, a Battlefield veteran. I've been playing for years and years, and that was my best game that I played. I was top 1% in the world on Battlefield 4. I did really good and excelled in Battlefield 5. I know it wasn't as popular, but I did excel really well in that. And Battlefield 3 was just more my nostalgic, I'd always go back to it and love it. And those are my 3 main games. Obviously, I played Battlefield 1, I played Battlefield Bad Company 2, I played all of them. And I've enjoyed every single one, but again, I just always found a passion for it. Obviously, I don't need this whole intro to tell you who I am for those that do know me, but if you don't know me, welcome. This is my YouTube channel, and if you could follow me on Twitch, that's where I stream mainly, twitch.tv/x_Braven. However, I did want to make this list today, and there's only really one reason why, and it was because I did record sniper gameplay of Battlefield 5, but my mic didn't record any audio. And actually, there's 3 games that I got, really good games that I recorded. So I decided to turn this video into more of just something to discuss in the comment section, and obviously talk about what you would like to see in Battlefield 2042, as well as other things too, that could come in with specifically the free-to-play mode. We don't know what it is yet. People are specifying that it could be Hazard Zone, and we've had some rumors about what Hazard Zone could be. We'll know more as the time goes on, but part of this wish list will also kind of include that too. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please drop a like and a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And again, none of these videos are edited, so I'm sorry it's not all like crazy good or anything. It's just me going to be playing a video in the background, and we're going to be discussing things. I have a list on my phone. I wrote down specifically top 5 in order, what I think is what my wish list is, but really some importance that needs to be done in that order too. So starting with number 5 all the way down to 1, which is 1 is the most important thing. So like I said, if you guys do like my stuff, please go follow me on Twitch, go follow me on YouTube, follow and subscribe on YouTube, which is here, and then follow me on TikTok, Instagram, all my socials. I'll be posting a link in the description. I'd very much appreciate it. And again, if you guys are here for my Razer stuff, I do have an update with Razer gear coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that video. And then obviously, it's a little harder to stream right now, but I'm going to be doing a lot more early morning streams. So if you're an early morning person, keep an eye out for that. And if you have any questions, just ask me, and I'd be more than glad to help. And Stream Elements isn't supposed to be saying anything because that's on my live stream. I don't know why it's going off, but anyways, without further ado, I'm going to switch it over right now, and then we're going to have the gameplay for Battlefield 5 sniping while I'm talking about this. So give me 1 second. Okay, so obviously I have it pulled up right here, as you can see, but I'm going to full screen it, because when I full screen it, it's going to cover entirely where I'm actually looking right now. As you can see, I'm like I kind of want to show that real quick. I'm kind of looking like, what the hell? And I had this cool little effect going on with my camera. I don't know, I did it itself. It was pretty cool. So I recorded content for a full day about it, and when I was recording content, I noticed that there was no audio with my mic, and that was because there was a issue where my mic wasn't being registered at all on Streamlabs. So forgive me for that one, but other than that, I hope you do enjoy the sniping content. But let's get this video started, shall we? So I'm gonna have the audio up just a little bit because you'll be able to hear the gameplay still. I'll say that's probably good right there. Anyway, starting with number 5. All right, so number 5, I have classic Battlefield weapon balance. That's very, very important. But when I put in this note specifically, I put sniper balance specifically. And the reason why is because there's something that's going to happen with 64v64 in big lobbies. And that is that if a lot of people could choose any gun that they want with their specific operators, it's going to be a lot of rooftop snipers and window snipers and people just holding areas and objectives. So the reason why I want balance is because in Battlefield 5, as you're about to see, by the way, it's not sniper right now just because I started out with the SMG, but I switched over to the sniper. But anyways, you'll see that in a second. It's the type, or it's the Arisaka or whatever sniper that is, the, yeah, that one, the one that came out with the DLC. But anyways, so, I don't know why it's showing that. Okay, my bad. Sniper balance in Battlefield 5 was the bullet velocity was too fast, and you'll see that in this gameplay. It was a little too fast. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that it was a little fast for personal long range engagements and close quarters, because it was almost instantaneous that you were getting hits. But when you play games like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, the sniping felt more realistic, had more bullet drop, had a good balance of bullet velocity, and you're going to need a lot of visuality too in terms of sniper scope glint and all that, especially with how many players are going to be sniping in a big battle like that. So in Battlefield 2042, I would definitely recommend that they actually put in the Battlefield 4 mechanics of sniping, and then take away any idea that's similar to what Battlefield 5 have. Obviously, Battlefield 5 was still really good with sniping. Every Battlefield has really good sniping in it, but Battlefield 5 just had it a little too instantaneous for balance. And so that's why I recommend that specifically. But obviously, gun balance is going to need to be a factor too. When you talk about like SMGs and stuff, you definitely need to have SMGs that are like faster fire rates, less damage. And I mean, like, put the damage range off a bit too. I've noticed there's some guns like in Battlefield 5, they have the type, I think it's 22A or something like that. And that thing is a laser, it's fast fire rate, and it has range to it. And it's just a little broken in the sense of like Battlefield is normally balanced. It's not a big deal, but in the sense that the way it works, it's a little too crazy. It's a little too much. But there's other guns like the Sten. I thought the Sten was a perfectly balanced SMG. You need to kind of go back and check out games with like a little bit more balance to the guns. Like I think Battlefield 3 was more balanced in terms of their gun damage ranges and everything like that. So just that's gotta happen. But obviously Battlefields, that's why I put classic Battlefield weapon balance, because they're pretty good at it, honestly, compared to like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a shit game. They never have balance with their guns. It's always one broken gun, and that gun's overly used. This game needs to have the classic Battlefield balance, and I just trust that they would do that. So obviously, like I said, with sniping is the only thing that's a big concern for me, because of the fact that people are going to be sniping all over the place. It's a little ridiculous. Oh, and no sweet spot mechanic. I did write a little bit of details. No sweet spot mechanic like they had in Battlefield 1. Just that was a good idea for that specific game, but it's not meant for this game. It won't be necessary for this game. So number 4, I have soldier versus vehicle balance. And the reason why I have this one is specifically because I've noticed that in every Battlefield game, there's always that one guy that's running the lobby, like especially one that's really all he does is use vehicles. Definitely need to have one soldier versus vehicle balance. So for example, if a guy you're running, your soldier's running explosives, right? It should be able to take out a vehicle pretty quick if you're able to counterplay it well. But the problem is, if there's a vehicle that takes a specific squad, like they talk about, like, oh, a squad can run a tank and fully engage with that tank and make the most use out of that tank with a full squad, making it the most powerful. That balance is already confirmed that's going to be in the game. However, I don't see that one soldier going against a full teamed tank should be a specific tank in that essence. You know what I mean? So like if there was like a one-man vehicle, that thing should not overpower. Kind of like Battlefield 5, they have the one-man, I forgot what they call them, not Sturmgewehrs, the Sturm Tigers or whatever, that can literally just machine gun their way through, and you know it takes a while for them to die off unless you got like C4 or something. We need something that gives players a little bit more of a chance to fight off and blow up. I personally think that that's always been an issue with Battlefield games, is it's so hard to balance vehicles versus the infantry soldiers, and I feel like the one way they got to do that is obviously just buff a little bit of soldiers' capabilities to take out vehicles. Obviously, when you buff that, you would take away, like, say, the RPG or something, right? Your RPG damage versus vehicles can go up, but in terms of going against players, should go down. But it should have a close enough blow up radius next to a player to where it can instant kill them, because obviously it's an RPG, right? But just a close enough one. Like if it's a little bit of a distance away, they should be able to survive it, just because in an arcade shooter you need a little bit of balance, and not everybody running around with an RPG, you know what I mean, and just killing people like that. So make it realistic. Let's see here, what else did I put for this notes? I did say make one soul, oh yeah, depending on vehicle, and I think that was it. Did I accidentally push something over? It looks like I did. Okay, anyways, no. So that was pretty much it. Number 4, it's very important because that'll give more balance to the game and everyone will enjoy it more. Number 3, how far are we in this video, by the way? I didn't even check that. Okay, so we got like 4 minutes. We got to get this done pretty quick. I didn't keep tabs of how long this video is going to be. It's only going to be a couple minutes long. Number 3, give it Battlefield 5 mobility with Battlefield 4 movement mechanics. And the reason, what I mean by that is, if you watch the gameplay trailer, you already could tell it looks like Battlefield 4. But you can see right here in the gameplay, I'm literally sliding around. I'm doing, you know, like very mobility stuff. Well, in that game specifically, there's a lot of players, so you want that escape feature where you can slide around, dodge bullets, but obviously not like slide bunny hop, you know what I mean? Like, obviously you need some kind of mobility mechanics, kind of like Warzone. I mean, again, like I said, Call of Duty is a really poorly done game, but like the movement and stuff is what always brought me back to the game. That's the one thing where I felt like they kind of got it down, was the movement, minus the like bunny hopping, aiming, and the drop shots. That was just ridiculous, but the overall like sliding around, moving, slide cancel is kind of like a decent feature. Obviously it's a little abused, broken feature, but Battlefield, I just feel like always did it right. I think the slide feature in Battlefield 5 was amazing. That kind of movement needs to be in the game. But Battlefield 4 movement, as in like just the way the gun moves around, the way the gun aims, ADS times, right here I put utilize look, speed, and jump strafing for Battlefield 4, which means like when you're running fast and jumping around, like jumping around corners or something to escape fire, add that with the Battlefield 5 movement. And I think that's very important, because a lot of players with a TTK that, you know, might be a little bit faster than a lot of Battlefields have had in the past, needs to be like that, so that way people don't just die off constantly, you know what I mean? And it gives a skill gap. Obviously Battlefield's pretty smart with this, and they know this well. So number 2, Hazard Zone to give BR experience without being a BR. That I said that the reason I have number 2 is because that's already the rumor, but they have a free-to-play mode coming out, and that free-to-play mode could very well be a battle royale, but it's not. I mean, they said no, but it could be something they're holding off, because we did confirm that they are going to be releasing a free-to-play mode in March. I don't know if Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone is going to be the free-to-play mode, or they're going to release this, you know, in March. But in my opinion, what I think might happen is, I think it's going to be Hazard Zone, but I think Hazard Zone is going to be available right off the bat for people that pay for the game and buy it. But the free-to-play people are going to get it later on. But what I mean for the balance of that is, I want to see, they said it's going to be like Tarkov. I want the looting like Tarkov. I want the intensity like Tarkov. But that's what needs to bring the players in, is the intensity. One life, you know, winner at the end takes all type deal, like a battle royale. But obviously more or less like the Tarkov escape out of the area type deal. I think that'll bring a lot of players in, and it'll be addicting, and people will want it. I say have arcade action, though, more than Tarkov, because Tarkov's really camperish. But obviously there needs to be some kind of camper stuff. But I say personally, arcade action more like Warzone, where yes, it is like no drop shotting and bunny hopping and all that bullshit, that broken mechanic shit. But yeah, like more realistic mechanics of action in PUBG is what I put as a list. Weapon attachments and gear should be buildable, not simplistic. That way it makes the game funner. You know, you find attachments on the ground and build your gun off that. Obviously, you could pick up a couple attachments and swap them on the fly with the little plus feature that they got. I think that would be a great idea. Cater to the hardcore fan, but simplify it enough to bring people in, which is like looting ammo and stuff. So obviously in this gameplay I went 29-3, and then there was a guy that was cheating, Battlefield Star. They were calling him out, and then some guys just said, "How do you snipe so well?" So I took that as a compliment. But anyways, and the last thing, obviously, I'm just going to talk about it real quick. I'll switch it over. Oh, wait, what happened? Did it even switch over? It did switch over. Okay. Yeah, I didn't switch over on this thing. So anyways, and then the last thing, I know I didn't get to finish it with the video, but it's fine. No big deal. We'll go a little bit over. And the number one thing, the most important thing, obviously, this needs to happen for sure, is anti-cheat. I know everyone's going to sit there and be like, well, you know, anti-cheat, like, just needs to be implemented and that's it. No, I'm talking about, like, I have an idea how the anti-cheat should work. I personally say anti-cheat needs to be in, period, no matter what. I get people want it to just whatever they could get is fine, cool, but no, I want like anti-cheat specifically for this. I want the anti-cheat to be able to recognize programs right off the bat. And I'm not saying like, I know it's going to get a little ridiculous and people are going to be like, oh, but anti-cheat can't figure out every single cheat. But I'm talking about the known cheats, the ones that are out there that have been discovered, have been caught up, all that shit. I want those anti-cheats gone. I want those to be on a list, and they get caught up in the system. If they get caught up in the system, remove that player, because they're going to fill with AI anyways, right? So those AIs can take over until a new player comes in and that cheater's gone. However, there is always going to be a cheater that can get by, especially with one in like a hazard zone. If it's as popular as it is, there's going to be cheaters that get by with their own, you know, very unique cheats that maybe nobody's ever seen or whatever. I understand that. So my thing is have a report system and an actual liable team to watch those reports that come in on those specific players. And obviously, The description will be a big deal, you know, like make it a list so you can describe exactly what you're seeing or what's going on, or what they're doing. And then from there, a team can review it quick enough and get them banned. Maybe it won't happen right away, but it'll keep the player either to want to play the game still, or they'll at least back out and then play in another match. And that's the big deal. It's a big deal to have that, because it'll keep the player base wanting to play the game. That's the biggest thing Call of Duty has. Call of Duty lost a lot of its player base because of that issue. They just don't take care of their game. Obviously, we know it's a fucking really bad developed game, but they just don't take care of their game. They're just allowing these cheats to get by, and that's the biggest fear about this game, is that they need to focus on it. I also put oh, I pretty much, that's that. I already explained everything, but it'll welcome everyone to more comfortable, or to be more comfortable and to compete and grind at a high level, which means they won't fear to go into Hazard Zone and be like, there's gonna be a cheater in here, man. What's the point? You know, it'll welcome in competitions. It'll welcome in tournaments and stuff. Like with Call of Duty, the tournaments are always gonna be just a fucking toss up. Like, oh, you might get a cheater and it ruins your fucking $20,000 reward or whatever. Like that kind of mentality in allowing that into be a competition is ridiculous, and I find that to be bullshit. However, I personally think that having an anti-cheat is very simplistic enough. I mean, I play Battlefield 4, and that's an 8-year-old game, and you see people getting banned on the fly, you know? And yes, by Fair Fight, by Punk Buster, there's even like community-made anti-cheat, and they're freaking getting people out with too high of pings using VPNs. I mean, it's very straightforward and simple. Just like, that's how it's so easy to implement this in the beginning to make your game have longevity. And like I said, Battlefield 4, as of right now, has a higher player base, especially because of the Battlefield 2042 hype, but it has a higher player base than Modern Warfare's multiplayer and Cold War's multiplayer of Call of Duty combined. And it's crazy, because that's an 8-year-old game. But you guys have the potential, DICE and EA and all of them that's working on this, Criterion, you name it. All you guys have the opportunity to make something mind-blowing, and I think you guys have the idea. It's there, but I know people are getting deterred because they're like, oh, no battle royale. No, well, I think this is going to be better than a battle royale with Hazard Zone, and personally, I'm a battle royale fan. You guys can see that on my content and everything, but I personally think that they're gonna knock this out of the park, and that's my wish list, honestly, is just make sure, like, anti-cheat's the biggest thing no matter what. Obviously I did talk about the balancing of guns, balancing of soldiers versus vehicles, and then the Hazard Zone thing, I just specifically talked about how they could like work the looting system a little bit, but make it more similar to like Tarkov in terms of like intensity and the way it loots. It's the looter, build your gun, build your armor system up, all that. Make it very squad based, you know, make it so like high IQ plays and crazy tactics and maneuverability and stuff is a big deal, because I know everyone likes kind of like the arcade shooter moving around crazy stuff, but I want to be able to feel like the Tarkov experience with a looter shooter that is more arcadey, you know what I mean? So it gives a little bit more like a Warzone feel, but more or less like the intensity of Tarkov, because Warzone's not really intense. Warzone gets like intense at the final, you know, couple people. Other than that, it's very casual. And I want like the experience where I go into Tarkov and I'm like, oh my god, like any moment now I could get into a gunfight and get killed. I want that, you know, or like where I have to listen and hear for things. I want that experience, and I think they have that idea because they saw the success of Tarkov, and they're like, you know what, we can build off of like a Battlefield specially made BR that fits around that style, and I think they're gonna fucking knock it out of the park. So anyways, I hope you guys like my wish list. If you guys have anything to add to that, you know where I'm at. Comment section, please do, and hope you guys have a good one. I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. I got work, so take it easy, guys. Have a good one.